One, two, three, four. Welcome back to the Forensic Detailing channel. What's going on, guys? Let's just get in camera shot. So I am giving my M4 a good spring clean. Looks pretty clean, doesn't it? But it is pretty clean. We've washed it. We've decontaminated it. Didn't need much. And we dried it and brought it in. It's got kind of like dried waterless wash on it, which I'm not too worried about. We'll polish that off. And it gets quite a lot of condensation in here. What's the process we're going to follow? Well, it's quite easy. We're going to just take a soft pad, and I think these are the Geon polishing pads, which are fine. They've just got a little bit of the resistance, so not the ultra soft like finishing ones. And we're going to just use a little bit of rupes Uno Advanced. This is the all-in-one with the sort of nano sealant in it, if you like. Quite an oily product. Kind of feels waxy, like a finishing polish. It will gloss up the paint, but we leave the residue on there. We let it cure. We buff it later on. Leave it on 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever. And that's it. And our car, once we've done that, this car will look silky smooth. And really, we also got to take out, because we've gone over it with that fine clay mitt. Oh, you can't really see it on camera. Well, that's just a good bit. Yeah, maybe you can see there. There's like fine little swirls all over it, which just very fine, probably from claying, and probably just wash-related swirls as well. So we'll get all that out, and we'll just get it nice and glossy. Now, what else is going on? Then we'll do the inside as well. The inside, really, you probably look and think, oh, it doesn't need detailing. It probably doesn't really. A little bit of grease on the seat. I can't remember what that's from. Food waste. We just vacuum all this out, wipe everything all down. The back seats are dusty because I haven't been in there for years. And that's it. I'm not going to put any protection products or dressings on the inside of this car because I don't need it. I don't. Once you put it on, that's it. So that's the M4. Something that's really important, I think, when you're polishing a car. So we've got our XCE polisher there. We've got our PXE mini polisher there, that will be fine, you know. If we're doing correction, you might want a more powerful mini, really, but, you know, it's not just polishing it up. A little brush tool just to brush out. A little Sealy torch, which is great, you know, quite powerful. Solid old thing with a bat thing on it. Good. God, this has seen a hammering. I've had to glue that thing back on, but apart from that, it's been fine. Good product here, and we've got a pile of these Waxes Dead towels, which are nice and soft, and they're all kind of spankers in there, all brand new, so they'll be really good. That's all I need. Before I get started, I just go along and spray some panel wipe over all of this, and then just wipe it all with a cloth, a dirty cloth in there. I don't want any dust on all this surface. I don't want all the surface cluttered with things as well. It's just like a mental thing, you know. I just like it all to be organised, and I have the tools that I'm using for this job. And once I finish this job, these tools get put away, and the garage goes back to how it was before. I cannot work. You know, I said, but I wanted to get the Porsche finished because I can't work and polish a car if all of this is covered in stuff and there's bits everywhere, and I just can't work like that. So yeah, just like to simplify everything, take my time, which is the way I like to do it. Now, the M4 is, let me turn these off. I'm driving me mad. I want to make sure all my batteries are charged for when I start. So that's fully charged, so I can cycle. Yeah, the M4, I'm thinking, I think I've made my mind up that I'm going to sell it. I've talked about the reasons before. I love this car, and that's not some sort of disclaimer, but well, maybe it is. I do love this car. I think this car is absolutely fantastic. Like, it's, for the money, I describe it as like it's a poor man's Lamborghini, you know, it's a poor man's, you know, I don't know. But you think 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds, really high quality LED plate lighting that costs like thousands of pounds. You don't want to damage that. Carbon fibre all over it, which costs thousands of pounds if you damage it. Carbon fibre roof, carbon fibre bonnet, carbon fibre. Properly high quality forged alloys, really good forged quality, not like the stuff on the newer cars, this newer BMW. The forged quality doesn't look anywhere near as good to me. These alloys look amazing, lovely satin finish. Carbon ceramics, you know, discs and carbon ceramic pads, lovely gold alloys, and the gold matches this metallic grey. This has a metallic fleck in it, this colour, this lime rock grey, which makes it like different colours almost. In the summer when there's lots of light, you get a metallic, you know, you get hints of gold in there. Very subtle though, but in low light, it looks like your kind of Audi Nardo grey, doesn't it? Where you don't see the metallics, so you can get that flat look to it as well. A little bit, a bit lighter than Nardo grey, and I think it's a lovely colour. And it just works really well with carbon fibre and the lime rock and the gold as well. So it's a rare car where you don't have to do anything to it. Like, you don't need to play around with it. I think it just looks really good with what BMW have done. You know, you might want to drop it a little bit, but I don't. I'm not interested in the aesthetics. This was all about the drive, really, for me. And with this with what I wanted to do with this car. And same with the interior as well. I think the interior on it's just really nice. It's like classic BMW, isn't it? Understated. You know, I don't like those little colouring bits on the headlining. They're a bit naff, but there you go. Just a really nice interior. You know, 0 to 60, 3.9 seconds, amazing brakes, Cup 2 tyres with ridiculous grip, heads-up display, a relatively light car by modern standards, 1550 kg. So it's got a lot of genuine weight saving on it. That's a light car, isn't it? I think the new Lotus, is it Emira? It's about the same weight, isn't it? Don't quote me on that. About the same weight, which you think that thing looks small. So how the BMW did a hell of a job to get this car down to 1550, because it's not a small car, really isn't. You know, even the seats, even inside, all the seats and everything are amazing. It's such a good quality car. I also think this car looks good from every angle. Looks good from the front, looks good from the side, looks good from the back. It's not overstated, so, you know, you can just drive around in it. Most people just think it's like a flashy 4 Series, you know, but those that know about BMW know it's an M4CS. Colour gives it away, you know. One of the best cars I've ever had. When I got it, I've had it for about 3 years. When I got it, I remember driving it back thinking, yeah, this is my forever car, you know, my forever car. So why do I want to sell it? Here's why I want to sell it. One, it's too fast to use on the road. You must be getting old, John. I am. But it is genuinely, it's too much power to put through those rear wheels. And in the winter, the Cup 2s don't grip. They can't get any heat into them, even when it's dry, really. Can't get that bite. So it's unsettled, like, and it's not a happy bunny in the cold winter months. It really isn't. But it's better on 4Ss. It's a lot more of a happy bunny on 4Ss or another road tyre. These tyres are extreme performance tyre, you know, for track, really. I'd probably go back. I don't know actually, because they're great. These tyres are kind of great in the summer. Here's why I'm selling it. I was paying like 600 odd quid insurance for it, and then suddenly the insurance jumped up to like £1,000 this year, so it's like 400 quid extra. Is that 40% extra or 60% extra? It's going to be 40% extra, isn't it? I think. Well, I don't know. Gone up 400 quid. I hate it when things like that are outside of my control, because I haven't claimed on this car. There's nothing I've done, but because for some reason, you know, there's loads of M4s out there that are getting binned. This car is like a bit more expensive to insure. And £1,000 probably isn't unreasonable, and you might be able to get it cheaper. But it's the principle of the fact that I can't control that I can get hit like that, and I've got no control on that. It's not that I can't afford it; it just does my head in. I don't like being on the receiving end of a. I don't like being diddled, basically. The running costs of it when you're running Cup 2s are large as well. So I just had to put 2 new rear tyres on it. Best part of 800 quid. It's expensive to run this car. You know, it is. And when you've got two other cars like the E36 and the Porsche that need constant money because they're old cars, every MOT time, you know, they need a good inspection and some good remedial work every year. You could be shelling out on those, and it's a little bit too much. And I said it when I had the black Porsche that 3 cars were a little bit too much. And when I got rid of the black Porsche, it was like, oh, it's much easier now. I just got the M4 and the E36. Ah, it's much easier. But then I got the new red Peril, and if I had the keys to all 3 cars, the M4, the E36 and the red Peril, you know, the 996, which one will I take for a little burn? Which one could do a bit of everything? It's the Porsche. Much more sensible level of power. Do you remember when Top Gear said like more than 300 brake horsepower is kind of wasted on the roads? I thought, I was young at the time, I thought, well, low rubbish that is. You never have enough. You never have enough. Give me more. But they were absolutely right, really. Yeah, on the roads, pointless. You know, if you're racing or whatever, or you're track driving and you really want to get faster and faster, then power might be your thing. But once you've had power, and I've had it with this, I think you do come to the conclusion that you don't get time, especially with a modern turbocharged engine, you don't get time to enjoy the experience of driving. So this is a weapon, but it's not as much fun as older cars. I think older cars are just better. They are. It's the introduction of electronics. You've heard me talk about it before. Everything that you interface with when you drive a car, your steering, your braking, your acceleration, your handling, you know, your electronic, all the traction control systems and everything. There is so much electronics involved with this car that it feels like you're piloting a car almost, like piloting an aircraft. You do certain things, and it lacks that connection. Whereas in my E36 and my and the Porsche, the 996, everything's mechanical. You get a lot more feedback. You get a lot more vibration. It's just a lot more engaging to drive. It really is. This is all about speed and performance. And when you first get one of these, you'll think, oh my God, it's amazing. And if you're a young guy in your 20s, you'll crave something like this because you won't have experienced it. And once you have experienced it, it's very cool. So no regrets, but it's time for this to go off. I don't think you'll find a better car for the money. If I was buying an M4, I would either buy a really early one for as cheap as I could, or I'd stretch and get a CS, because you get your money's worth with this car, especially if you can find one with carbon ceramics. The carbon ceramics are amazing. They are amazing for circuit driving, they're amazing for road driving. They're just really consistent and just really good and really like powerful, and like, they just feel amazing. The brakes on this car are phenomenal, so damn good. Like you can be literally humming it down a straight like at Goodwood at like 150 miles an hour or something, just slam the brakes on, you know, foot to the floor with the brakes, and it can take it. So good. Yeah, very, very good car. And the S55 engine, to me, seems really, really solid. I just have had no niggles on this car at all. When I first bought it, the lambda sensor went, and that's about it. I had fuel starvation once when I was going around a corner in Goodwood. Apart from that, I've not had a single problem with it. It's just so reliable, so well built, so heavy. All the panels are heavy, you know, heavy set panels, double skinned, all solid. But it's I don't know how they managed to get it so light. Really is a great car. But yeah, it's got to go. I've thought so much about it, and it will be one of those ones that when it's gone, I'll be like, I'll look back on it and I'll just be like, oh no. Whenever I see one, I'll be like, oh, that's an amazing car. I know what that's like. But, you know, it'd be no fun on the road. Like we're doing a road trip to the Alps in summer. This car just would be pointless. Just be pointless. Because it's too fast to enjoy. But on a circuit, you know, if you like driving fast on the road, you want a car that's easy to live with. It's got you can just pop it into efficient mode and daily it every single day, and then do like a couple of times a year, take it to a motor circuit and you haven't got to do anything to it, and it's an absolute weapon on this track. It will keep up with virtually everything on a circuit, virtually everything. You know, I've had a good go at everything since I've had this. You know, you'll keep up with most things. Yeah, perhaps as modern, you know, as time moves by, some of the modern stuff will outperform it. In the wet, you'll struggle. With any rear-wheel drive car, you'll struggle in the wet. Great car. So we're just chatting in this video, guys. So what am I going to do with this car? I think I'm going to put it up for sale myself. Yeah, I think so. Motorway, I put the price in. We Buy Any Car come back at 30 grand, which, you know, just sold my car for half of what it's worth. If I look on Auto Trader, they start at 42 and go up to 52. So I think if I sold it myself, I'd sell it for somewhere between 42 and 52, I think. But they are all blue ones, and there is not one lime rock for sale in the UK, which is interesting, isn't it? There was loads of lime rock when I first looked, well, not loads, but about 3 or 4, always 3 or 4. Now the lime rocks seem to get snapped up, which is interesting. But if I was buying one, like I said, I would want lime rock, I'd want carbon ceramics, I'd want the heads up for when if you are using it on a motor display. You must get the adaptive headlights and tail lights. I think they come as a pair, do they, in front and back. You must get those. You don't want the round headlights, you want the little hexagonal adaptive ones, because they just look so cool. This is one of the reasons why I ended up going for a CS, because I would never going to find the spec I wanted with all of that stuff. The CS kind of had it all. Alcantara steering wheel, take that or leave it. It's got Alcantara on mine, but it does degrade. You know, it could be. My Alcantara is okay in places, but in other places it feels a bit kind of matted. You know. What else has this car got that you need? Mainly the carbon ceramics, I think. It's got everything you could want spec-wise, apart from reversing cameras, but I don't want that. You know, don't use those. I use my eyeballs. Yeah, so I'm thinking put it up for sale for like 45, 46, 47. See what happens. Because there might be someone out there that wants one. You know, is waiting for one. If not, I could chuck it on Motorway, and Motorway, I think, are guaranteeing me 37,500, something like that, guaranteed minimum price. So for an easy sell, if it went out to auction on Motorway, I'd hope it got close to 40 grand. I could take a hit to it. I did take it down my local BMW dealership, but I'm not sure. I can't get a price back from them. I can't get a yes or no from them or anything. So I don't know. So yeah, I think I'm going to probably sell it myself. It's a pain in the arse, but I think if you don't do that, you lose a lot of money. It's just had 2 new rear tyres on it. It's got a year's MOT, dual service in 1,300 miles. It's got some stone chips on the glass. The front bumper could probably do with a repaint. No, in fact, it could do, you know, just little stone chips. And the front splitter, when you have that done, just get that re-lacquered. Then the rest of the paint's really, really nice. The interior's nice. The alloys, I wouldn't refurb them, but they do have little marks on them. In the barrels of these cars, the calipers sit so close to the barrel. It's one of the bad side things on this car. Only at the front, you get stones that get like stuck in there and like scrape the barrel, scraping the bottom of the barrel. So you could have them refurbed, and probably within 50 miles, you'll hear a you'll be like, oh no. So I don't think I'd personally bother having these refurbed. That's it. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. I hope you enjoy these informal videos. I really do. I do. I love it still, you know. And I'll see you soon on the Forensics Detailing channel. Bye for now. Doug.